Hello and welcome to another episode of All In with Gannon with you. Dean Watling, of course, and our man Lewis Willoughby is in Bali, but we sacked him because he said Quintessa couldn't win, and well, she did. G'day, Dino.
Gannon, it's good to be here. Yes, Louis taking an early end of the year. He's gone off to Bali. The Roosters might be heading there soon after the disastrous Sunday, but no, he's lapping life up by Goose. But me and you are here, Gannon, to find a couple of winners. Good racing again. Moir Stakes looks an absolute belter.
Looks absolutely very, very good race, and sparks will fly around the valley. So that'll be very good Saturday afternoon. The Moir Stakes. We'll touch on that soon. Dino Stormboy was very, very impressive. Looks like he's got back to his best. What was your opinion on him on Saturday at Rosehill?
He was terrific, and the market loved him. That's the two things I took out of it. I think as soon as he stepped into the yard, the big guys chimed in. Well done to you. You're on his side. I was with Gatsby's, who was playing as Jane. That's twice now. He's had a good first up run and sort of failed second up. But he looked good. Wondering what they do now. I think you might have found the key to him. He might just be a control freak that just loves to find the front and bowl along. But he was great. There were some big stories on the weekend. Obviously, the Memsie Stakes, the two favourites, didn't sort of figure. Pinstripe, great story on the jockey and the trainer. But yeah, props to you, Gannon. Yeah,
super.
Yeah, and the call as well. Obviously, Adam's first Group 1 call, and he absolutely nailed it. So, no, it was a good weekend's racing. Plenty of big opinions. I think that was a sort of crossroad weekend for a lot of horses and a lot of opinions. And unfortunately, I probably was on the worst side of it, but that's all good. It's racing.
The great game. The great game. Exactly. Autumn Glow was really good. A few luckless runs in behind, albeit I don't think she gets beat. But probably more of a flight stakes horse, as much as I'd love to see her go the Golden Rose, because I've got like a $50 or $60 ticket. I think she'll be winning the flight stakes, and I don't think she'd be winning a Golden Rose. So more to come there. Be interesting to see what happens with that race as we sort of go over the next few weeks. But Stormboy, very much close up in the market there. I think Broadsiding's still your favourite, but be interesting to see how that one plays out. Hey, Dino. Hey, give us a couple of horses to follow for the weekend. I'll kick off. I've got 3. Centerstone, Vivier come out of the same race, and Briasa. I thought Briasa was very, very impressive in the last, and I reckon they'll be going to listed races sooner or beyond sooner rather than later, outside of the obvious, Stormboy and Autumn Glow. Dino?
Yep, I think Brias is the one that I wanted to follow out the whole meeting. I thought that was a nice setup, but I always get a little bit worried the Hawks camp off one trial. I think they have a lot of improvement in them, and I guess they're probably training that horse that way this time in too. So I thought if it could win on the weekend, it's definitely one to follow, and it did, and the market liked it. So I think it's one that could probably fill those bit of a lackluster listed sort of standard races leading into the spring. So no, I agree with you. Briasa goes in the Blackpool G-Man. Called you G-Man. God.
We shout out to our man, Gary Hall.
Gary Hall.
Gareth. Even when he's not on the show, he's still top of mind for you, Dino, and that is cute. Let's go to the Moir Stakes. Going to be on Saturday afternoon at the Valley. A couple of big names line up here. Estriella, $2.70. I Wish I Win, $4. Lady Camelot, 7s. Coleman, 9s. Hayasugi, $11. Bellina Patina, 15s. Cabulous, 15s. Shana Lightning, $15. Johnny Rocker, also on the same line of betting, and longer the rest, the Moir Stakes for 2024.
Yep, fascinating. I think Estrella, a lot of this market is first up. I think pretty much everyone here is at bar, probably Mornington Glory's fresh. So trials jump out to mean a lot. There's a little bit to dissect in regards to the race. We know that Cabin probably stays in Sydney. Red Card comes down to represent Godolphin. And Bella Nipotina's in Sydney. She obviously had a trial there last week. I think it was her first trial, maybe second trial. But she'll take a place in the Concord. So a lot of these horses obviously on Everest paths, so a lot of them don't like to travel interstate, et cetera, et cetera. That's just a background. You mentioned at the top of the show, it's speed on speed, just a speed map. Estriella, Lady of Camelot, Coleman, Cabulas goes forward, Chain of Lightning potentially, Mornington Glory, Red Card. So barriers are going to be paramount. The way his track's going to play is paramount. Estriella's probably too short for me to back. $2.50, especially this setup, this track, the speed we spoke of, too short. I think there's the bet in the race that I want to have this far out, and you'll probably touch more on it, is Lady of Camelot. I thought Stormboy's trials were a little bit plain, and she was running sort of 3 or 4 seconds, 3 or 4 lengths, put a better time in her trials. Stormboy comes out, wins of the week, and I think that just adds confidence to Lady of Camelot. So I think at the price, this far out, she would be the bet for me. I know you like her as well.
Yep, spot on. She's clearly the better of the race. It was a silly price, $7. She'll
Mm,
be one surprise if she starts favourite. She's only got to draw a gate, but even being from that stable, there's only one thing they'll be doing, and they'll be landing the top
yep,
two in the run. It'll be leading or outside lead, handlebars down, and Zach Lloyd booked to ride, your man.
yep,
He'll be up and about, and yeah, I think the horse is just a great bet. As you said, those trials were better than Storm Boys. Doesn't necessarily mean that the performance is going to be better, but I guess just on your data alone and your trial data alone, there, Dino, the suggestion is that she looked to be going the same as Storm Boy, but the figures were better. Therefore,
yep,
all it can do
exactly.
is fill you with confidence to take that price that's available. So I think she's bomb proof. We know what you're going to get. We've seen that she handles like fast tempos. She
Yep.
embraces that, and yeah, she will give a huge sight. So we combine Lady of Camelot there in the Moir Stakes. Let's move on to the Mackenzie because I have a tip here for you. No markets out, of course, in the Mackenzie Stakes, but I think public attention for Coolmore is a very, very good horse. Beat a horse home by the name of Nadola, who's a subsequent winner. Also, could be a winner, but a winner. And I think that public attention from memory was three wide. I think on the day it was okay to be three wide, but three wide without cover on debut and one well was still strong through the line. I would imagine a Caulfield Guineas would be right on this horse's radar. I'm pretty sure you can still get around $51. While you are giving your tip, Dana, I'll have a look at that. If you got anything for the Mackenzie Stakes.
I don't, but I like this push. I went through the futures market on the Caulfield Guineas, and a lot at the top end of this market are not heading there. I think another horse we'll touch on too, Private Life, goes around midweeks in Sydney. I think he's a nice bet in that Caulfield Guineas, but I think if you can find one that's going to be picked off for that. A lot of these are just going to get to that road in Sydney, Golden Rose. Do they go to a Caulfield Guineas? Do they freshen back to an Everest, or they freshen for potentially a Coolmore? So I think it's a race that you can chime in a big price. So like you said, if it wins this week and wins well, I doubt you're getting 51. So no, nice push from you, Gunnar, but no real opinion on the race. It's not a race I spent a lot of time on,
Yep.
but I'll back your judgment, back you in.
Good man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hey, let's go to the Concord Stakes. Looks like a really nice race. You got a bit of a profile on a Concord Stakes in previous years, mate, or you just want to dive straight into the market?
Dive straight in. The only thing I give, we're back to Randwick obviously this week. 1,000 meters. It's probably the first of three lead ups as we get into the Everest. You got obviously the Concord, you got the shorts, and there's a third one that escapes from mine. So this is all these horses trying to probably have a bit of a trial run to let slots know that hey, we're ready to go. Probably no more than Giga Kick, who's off a long layoff. But let's step straight into it, Gunnar.
Yeah, Giga Kick looked very, very good at the trials. Even better probably in the most recent one. $2.50. Bella Nipotina, $5. Private Eye, $5 off. Cabin, $6.11 into six. So that's a notable move there, obviously, with the horse. The suggestion the horse will be staying in Sydney. Remark, $9. I am me, 11. I am me tried well, Dino, just top of my head. I'm pretty sure I saw it try really well the other day. Estriella, 11s to 13, suggestion that horse will be going to the Valley. Red Card, most likely the Valley. Cabulous, $34. And much, much longer the rest. Dino, the Concord Stakes, 2024.
I think if there's any time Af Cavan's going to beat these horses, I think it's in this race. He is an absolutely fresh machine. All of his best runs, bar none, have come fresh. I think last year, if you remember, he was first up in this race, and I think he should have run. And then won. So I think punters then tried to chase him throughout the spring, and he couldn't quite get there. So his trial's been great again. Like I said, I don't think he's the best horse in the race, but I think he's probably got the best setup. He just needs to draw a gate. Interested to see who rides. I think potentially. Is it J-Mac won't be in Sydney this weekend? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I think I heard something he's down to ride. Ooh, maybe not. We'll see. But his trial's been terrific. Like I said,
you should have asked G-Man.
Yeah, I should have. I think if there's any time you're going to back him, I think it's back him first up here. I think it's instead up. Can he win an Everest? Can he win a Shorts? Not sure. Can he win a Concord? I think yes.
Cannot.
Exactly. So I think if you're going to back him, it's here. Giga Kick's the interesting one. What do we do with him? His latest trial's outstanding, but how can you take $2.50 about that horse off a long layoff? Like, I just can't. That's just ridiculous. Bella trialled up like an absolute rocket. She's got residual fitness. Remarks a good 1,000-meter horse. And IME's a tricky one. I thought the first trial was plain. I haven't seen a second trial as yet, but if there's a second one, I'd hope it'd be good because I was worried about the first one, Gunnar.
Yeah, well, I'm no trial judge, but IME, where was it? You know what? That's where I noticed it because I was doing the rounds. It was a Goulburn trial, so makes sense why it looked impressive. So if there's a possibility to retract
Shame it's
this.
out
So
there.
yeah,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
I did see it go around,
Maybe it's
and
aimed up for a Kosciuszko.
it went well at Goulburn. I knew I'd seen it somewhere, Dino. Interesting race. It'd be interesting to see. So if J-Mac's not riding, obviously I'd be interested to see who gets aboard Giga Kick. Because the suggestion was what isn't
No,
between
he
J.
must be in Sydney. He must be the following week.
Yeah, I
I
was
think
going to
I've
say
got it
between
wrong there.
Jolly Star and Giga Kick as his Everest horses. So I would have thought that if he's not riding a Sydney, then Jolly Star would be his number one seed. But we'll see what happens there. No bet for me. I don't even know. Like I don't know what you do with this race. Like what about a horse like Remark? Could we finally see him stand up over 1,000 meters? I think he's probably 1,000 meter horse. Dino.
Yes,
Um, won this race last year, didn't he?
pretty
I think
sure.
he beat In Secret and Bella Nipotina. So, not sure how well he's going. Won a trial, ran second in a trial. Did you catch his trials at all? Or do you have any opinion on how he's traveling?
Yeah, his trials are great. He always
Yeah.
tends to trial up well. He's probably a very similar horse to Af Cabin. Like they're probably maybe half a length off the top end at 12, but 1,000 meters is their go. And he always runs well 1,000 meters. He does have that breathing issue. Obviously, he's had tie back surgery, so goes well fresh and goes well 1,000 meters.
Nice race. If I had to have a push, it would be in that direction, Dino, but really no plays for me here. Anything else in the all-in markets that you like? Anything sort of stand out for you on the weekend? There's a Furious, Tramway, Tarzino Trophy markets up. Anything else that's caught your eye?
I think the Tramway is a good one. I won't be taking the price of Amelie's Jewel now, but I think she is really, really well suited. I've loved her trials under Neesham, and obviously this is 1,400 meters fresh. So probably very jumped off that latest trial and purely said that I can't see how she's a 1,200 meter horse. 1,400 is probably the shortest you'd put her over fresh. Obviously, she turns up here. Look for Tommy to be booked, and if she's got a bunny to chase and the track's playing well, I think she could be an outstanding bet come Saturday. Take the price now, no, but just want to touch on that. I think it's a little bit of good information for the punters out there.
Love that. The Furious Stakes. Any opinion on that? You got Manal, Amina going head to head again. Manal still come up the favourite there.
Yep. Different this week. Obviously, they went around in the silver slipper and matched each other. That was where the weight swing obviously was against Manal. She had to carry 60 kilos or a metre. So the weight should swing back the other way now. I think that's why the market's trended that way. Could you make that case that she wins the race? Probably. Some horses handle it different, so that's probably why the weights are. I would lean the way of Manal. Michael Freeman's a great first-up trainer, but I think his horses go even better second up. So I think her trials prior, less weight this week. I think she'll stand up and go on for that Princess Series, probably T-Rose next 14, then obviously Flight Stakes 16.
I'm interested in Similia on in that race. I thought it was really, really she was really impressive against the bias last time. You get a price around $11, $3 to place. Not sure if can get the job done over Manal with the weight swing, but I'm willing to just have a gamble there and take the $11, something small. I have a very, very small piece because I can't imagine Similion's going to be any really, maybe it might open $8, $9, but I don't think there's a huge difference I don't think we're getting any huge overs by betting in the all-in market, but probably more for something for the punters come Wednesday afternoon when they get home, something to look at. That Similion is probably worth an each-way ticket. That track, of course, rail out 6 meters. We're on a good 4. It's very windy in Sydney, as windy as I've seen it for ages. It's warm. This is going to be as hard and fast a racing surface as we've seen in quite some time. We thought Rosehill played pretty well. I thought Rosehill was very, very fair, albeit you could win and lead. And people came out saying, "Oh, it was leaders were advantage." Well, it certainly wasn't. You could win as far back as 5 or 6 lengths nearly 5 lengths at the 600-meter mark. As I think probably even still played just off pace considering all the margins of the day, but you could win in the lead and on speed, which is an important element of racing because you just don't want to see this one-dimensional sort of piece, which we have seen in the past 6 or 7 weeks, haven't we?
Yeah, well, that's probably why people maybe were blowing up a little bit. The last probably 4 weeks have probably been too fair, too run on from the back, and Rosehill tendency is to be hard and fast and probably even more on speed than we saw on the weekend. So maybe it was just us adjusting, me included, but that's how it should be. To be honest, the inside played pretty well, and speed map wise, a lot of the races were sort of void of speed. And then we saw the last when you do have speed, Briasa could run over the top. So tempo is key, and that's a lot that we forget.
Really good.
Tracks play.
So rail out 6, good 4. Remember the rules that we do with this all-in stuff. Sometimes these horses won't turn up. We will have an airball, but we are looking for value and looking for always on-pace horses. So something small and familiar on there. Do our best. Right, let's do a best all-in play of the weekend. You read yours out. I'll read Louis out. And then I'll throw mine into the mix as well, Dino.
Yep, best all-in play on the weekend is going to be the Concord Stakes, AF Cabin around that $6 price. I just think if it's any time we're going to back this horse and he's going to win a good race, I think it's now. Again, the price first up. I think that is the play in this race this year, the Concord Stakes, AF Cabin for me,
Love that. Louis has gone for the Atlantic Jewel. No markets out yet, but he was very keen on Lilac, and he had a Mina in there as well. So that was obviously in the Furious. Is that right, Dino? Yep.
It's in both. I think
the Furious or the Atlantic. Anyway, he likes a Mina. Where it goes, I don't know. Remember Louis sitting back there in Bali sipping cocktails, so he has zero care for us punters at the moment, us battlers. So take his current staking just with a grain of salt.
And Lilac is down to run race 1 at Warwick Farm on Wednesday.
Yeah, so. Jeez, Lou. Jeez, Lou, son. Anyway.
Stick to the big tangs.
Onto the big tangs, and he's just giving us a bum steer. Hey, I'm pretty keen. Lady Camelot, I think she's a great play. You can back her each way. I'd be surprised I'd be surprised if she gets beat. To be honest, I think she's come back bigger, better, and she doesn't have to come back too much better to be winning this race. And outside of that, I thought Similion in the Furious was going to be a very, very good bet. Dino, have you looking forward to Wednesday's racing? You just mentioned Lilac was potentially going around there. Have you got a best bet for the punters?
I do. Race 1, the race that Lilac's in, but it's not Lilac. Race 1, number 1, Private Life.
All doesn't bode well for that horse if you're not even finding it.
Yeah, no, that's true. I think he can win. J-Max off. He's not riding at the meeting. This is what caught me off. I spoke about J-Max before. He's not down to ride there, which is interesting. Nash is on. But I think we'll see Private Life. And I do have one tomorrow. We're racing in Newcastle. So race 1, number 1, Wednesday at Warwick Farm. And then Newcastle... I'm trying to find the race. Race 2, number 1, Interjection. First up for the O'Shea and Charlton camp. I think it will be winning race 2 there at Newcastle. So 2 for the punters. I'll make up for Louis not being here for midweek,
Good stuff. And I'll do what I normally do. I'll throw them up on the YouTube channel because I've been flat out all morning. Just, clocking the jump outs, living the dream. And here we are. Hey, that's it for all.
Stables.
Just shoveling the proverbial in the stables. Didn't get to watch a single jump out. It was on the shovel. That's been all in. Make sure you do, of course, subscribe to the greattipoff.com YouTube channel. Leave a comment. Let us know this week who the winner of the Moir Stakes will be. Give us your reasoning why, and you'll go into the draw to win 100% of the multi this week. My tip will be Lady Camelot. Dino, yours?
Mine will be AF Cabin. Yeah, I'll go to win. AF Cabin to win.
Ooh, AF Cabin to win the Concord. I think we might get Luke Hovhanessian to throw one in the mix because Louis is on the Bintangs. We'll get Luke Hovhanessian from the Great Tip Off to throw his in the mix, and we'll get Damo to get his hands into those deep pockets. We'll put the multi on, and away we go. Make sure you subscribe, comment, let us know. And until next week, bye for now.